Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unbagging of Nothing Left to Bomb, The Skies Over Malta, 1940-1942. This is Small Battles number 5 from SNAFU Games, and it's designed by Nicola Saggini. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, boss. But take a look. And I've already clipped the counters, but I do have an unclip to show you. But let's take a look at this. Now, I've done the first 3 small battles on this channel. I don't actually have number 4. I'm going to reach out and get that. First off, I really like this cover. This art is very beautiful. Now, we're going to do an unbagging today. I was going to do a gameplay video, but this game has a lot of hidden information, and I don't think I can do it justice playing solo. So I'm going to take it with me to the San Diego Histicon and see if I can find somebody to play it with, and then give you a video later in November, talk about the gameplay on this. So let's slide that out. Again, I'll show you those counters later.
Okay. So here are the counters in Nothing Left to Bomb. You see they are two-sided. Get up close here and show you some of them. Pretty cool. Actually kind of had them upside down. There's 115, a couple of blanks there in the middle, not a big deal. Anyway, we're going to get these punched and corners clipped. Pretty nice though.
But like most of the small battles games from SNAFU, you've got cardstock for the cover and the back and player aids on the inside. Now this happens to be the British player map. And we'll look at the back here. It talks a little bit about the information. Again, this is 60 to 120 minutes, 2-player game, low complexity. I've read the rules. It looks pretty straightforward. 1 turn equals 1 month. Now, this game is actually got 3 scenarios that take Malta over the whole of the war. And the recommendation is that you play scenario 2 first, as it's the easiest as far as learning the rules and getting in and playing the game. And actually the one that they say is the most challenging, relatively speaking, is scenario 1. And on the back here of the back, again, nice cardstock, is the Axis player mat. Now both of these, again, because there's hidden movement, you have these 2 cards here, okay? And these basically have your charts. This one is the player aid for the British. This is the player aid for the Axis. And the information on here is specific to whichever faction you happen to be playing, although there are some common tables as well. Okay? These are also used to, I don't know if you can see that, but basically as a screen. So as you're setting up stuff on your player mat, you can, let me move this down, use this as a screen, however you want to do that. Again, there's a lot of hidden information in this game. Again, good cardstock, beautiful looking, love the art on it. And again, the British one has what appears to be a Spitfire, or maybe that's a Hurricane. Probably more of a Hurricane. And then this is the ME-109 with the Italian markings on it. But beautiful looking art. And those are your player aids and game screens. Now, the game also comes with a postcard. And I have yet to actually look and play this game, but it is a very similar type of game where you've got some bombing to do. I may do a video on this specifically. We'll see. Beautiful looking. Oh, I love that. And as you know, I have a soft spot for postcard games. That comes in as an add-on. Now, depending on when you purchase this game, assuming that you do, and I will have links in the description of this video, you may get this game, you may get some other game. I can't guarantee what you're going to get. Here is the map. Now, it is a one-sided map. Whoop. It's paper. It's not the same cardstock as these. So it's a little thinner. But what you have is you've got 4 different areas on the island. You've got some airports that you're defending. So basically what the game is as the allies, you're trying to keep your air bases operational so that you can have some control of the airspace in the Mediterranean. And as the Axis, you are trying to neutralize these air bases and take over air superiority. You've got east, south, west, and north. And basically, what you're going to end up doing is, because it's hidden information, let me pop over here. As the Axis player, you're going to select where you're going to attack. You're going to have certain forces that are available. You're going to have some of your damage units, and you're going to then place them, not knowing what the various strengths are, other than what you can remember, in these 4 areas of Malta. And as the defender, you're going to set up your anti-aircraft. You're going to try to rebuild your airstrips, make them stronger, more defensible, and then put out your Air Force to defend from the bombing runs coming from the Axis player. You've got a convoy. There's actually an aircraft carrier that comes in at some point. You have your logistic points that you use as currency to repair your air bases, to build up defenses and such. You also have convoys that can give you some resupplies. And again, the Axis player is going to try to disable your anti-aircraft, your air bases, and interrupt your convoys coming in. And again, because there is quite a bit of hidden information here and bluffing that goes into this game, I don't think I can do it justice doing a solo playthrough of the game. So these are the main components. Again, the map is just beautiful. One thing I will point out, you've got 1 year. These are each 1 month. And then you've got brackets here to give you scenario 1, which goes from June 1940 to December 1940. Scenario 2 is January through May 1941. And scenario 3 is December 41 to April 42. So you use the same track for all 3 scenarios, which is kind of a nice little design. You get into the rule book. One thing, again, that as you know, if you've seen some of my other unboxings, so one of the things that I really like is rules that you can read, that have nice, clean font, that don't try to get overly fancy and have some color to it. So we have got that here. As you'll see, full color, 2 column, nice readable fonts. And again, you see these icons of the counters, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. A little bit of history here in the rule book, which is always nice. Again, pretty straightforward. Here's an example of air combat. Bombing and strafing example. Talks about the turns. We're halfway through, and here's the scenarios. So the first part of the rule book is basically the rules with a couple of examples. Next part talks about scenarios. Here's a nice big example of the Axis player map. And then one for the British player map, which kind of shows you how to kind of get through and as you're playing each side. And then after the scenario, when you get to page 17, now you get into the airplanes, a short primer, which talks about the various aircraft that took part in this particular campaign. Talks about the airfield. So you get a nice bit of history as well. And then I think this is kind of cool. So I want to draw attention to it. Nicola is doing his acknowledgments, and then he says here, this game is dedicated in loving memory of his grandfather, Waldo, a Royal Italian Air Force RTO stationed at Rhodes during World War II, and whose war stories shaped his childhood and are greatly responsible for his love of airplanes and his interest in military history, and ultimately has taken shape in making games about it. That's very cool. That's very cool. It makes games like this, especially from small publishers and designers. It just, for me, it makes it a little more personal and makes me want to know a little bit more about this particular conflict, as most of these games do. And then you got your credits on the back. Again, Nicola Saggini, your game designer, development, Marc Figueras, Oscar Oliver, Ivan Prat, artwork, graphic design by David Prieto. Oh my God, I'm sorry guys, I'm slaughtering the pronunciation of these words, these names. There we go. Nice compact. And another thing I'll mention is I really like the bag. Plenty of room, nice tabs, easy to open. As always, guys, I appreciate you taking time to check out what I do here on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. If you picked up this game, let me know. And I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a review copy that was sent to me by SNAFU. Okay, so just full disclosure, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it. The only critique that I have is that the counters are half-inch counters. I prefer slightly larger counters. That's just me, easier on the eyes. Other than that, again, the artwork on the counters is beautiful. I would have liked them to be a little bit larger in size. As always, I appreciate you taking time to check out what I do here on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.